This is the intense process of a mother T-Rex laying eggs. It went on for a full half hour. The first dinosaur egg slowly started to come out, but the real agony was only just beginning. The whole process took an extreme amount of strength, and each egg was about as big as a football, so laying one was incredibly difficult. Luckily, this female T-Rex was not laying eggs for the first time. She had already learned some experience with laying eggs, as she let out a painful roar. The first egg finally came out successfully, but that was only the beginning. The real challenge of raising young was far more brutal than giving birth. T-Rex usually laid their eggs in mounds of dirt on the ground. To keep the eggs from getting cold, the T-Rex mother needed to quickly cover the nest with dirt. Even though this kind of nest held warmth really well, its downside was just as obvious. Once a heavy rainstorm hit, rainwater could quickly seep into the nest. The eggs could get soaked or even freeze and be ruined. So, the father T-Rex immediately dug a small hole to drain all the standing water from the nest. However, besides natural disasters, hungry small predators were also a deadly hidden threat. Several oviraptors had quietly moved close to the nest. They moved very lightly, trying to steal one of the eggs. But right then, the father T-Rex spotted them. One egg was smashed in the chaos. Since oviraptors were tiny in size and incredibly agile, the group of thieves quickly fled the scene. As the embryos slowly developed, even sneakier predators started eyeing the nest. One day the mother T-Rex suddenly heard a strange noise. She immediately dug open the nest to check what was happening. The next second, a huge swarm of rats suddenly burst out of the nest. The eggs inside had almost been completely eaten. Luckily they found out in time, and barely managed to save the last two eggs. But even after the baby T-Rexes hatched, their lives were still full of danger. The little ones were extremely curious, and always loved running all over the place. One day one of them ran into a full-grown ankylosaurus. It wanted to hunt like its parents, but it could not bite through the ankylosaur armor at all. It even got knocked to the ground by its tail swing. If young T-Rexes only fought small dinosaurs, most fights weren't life-threatening. But once they ran into large carnivorous predators, they had no chance to fight back, and could only be picked off helplessly. So adult T-Rexes would take their young out hunting, teaching them survival and fighting skills. But even so, the survival rate of young T-Rexes was still very low. Only 1 out of 5 in a clutch would make it to adulthood. But once they successfully grew up, they will become the apex predators of the ecosystem, and almost no natural enemy could threaten them anymore.